The Olympos XII. One of Digimon's most famous groups. But with an appearance in the new Digimon story game on the horizon-ish, we still don't know the title of that game, let alone its release date, it's got me to thinking about what the Olympos XII would digivolve from. So on today's video, let's figure that out. What is up, digital companions? My name is Karn EX and welcome back to another video. And if it's not welcome back, we're like 1,000 subs away from 50,000 subscribers. You could be the person to get us there. Thanks. And yes, the Olympos XII. 12 very prominent mega level Digimon. Some of them do have very intrinsically connected evolution lines. For example, Apollomon and Dianamon have their full evolution line. Coronamon becomes Pheramon, becomes Flaremon, becomes Apollomon. And Lunamon becomes Bacchusmon, which becomes Ceresmon, and finally Dianamon. And then the only other Olympos XII member with a full evolution line is Jupitermon, who typically comes from Aegirusmon Holy, but basically any of the Aegirusmon variants, then Aegiamon with the rookie being Elecmon, because electricity, Jupitermon is the god of thunder and electric, makes sense. The others, however, not so much. In fact, and I'll get to it as I talk about each one, some of them have barely digivolved. Period. There's in fact one Digimon in this list who's only ever digivolved once from what I can see. So while this isn't a custom art video, I do want to do a custom art video where I give all of the Olympos XII their own Grace-Novamon equivalent to match Apollomon and Dianamon. I do want to find the Digivolution line that matches up nicely to existing Digimon because I think that's most likely what would happen in the next Digimon story game. I don't think we're going to get an Apollomon and Dianamon situation and more of a Jupitermon situation, like how his rookie is an existing, long-established Digimon. And so we begin with Jupitermon's counterpart, his lover, Junomon. She has recently been getting a little bit of love in things like the card game. But prior to that, basically she'd only ever been seen to digivolve from Angelomon in one card, and from Shatumon in Digimon New Century. Junomon is based on the Roman god Juno, of course, but also the Greek equivalent Hera. Her associated theme is that of the peacock, but Jupitermon's associated theme is the owl, and you don't really see much owl in his evolution line. But I do like the idea that she's digivolved from Shatumon before, and actually think that Shatumon to Ferrymon to Tinkermon is pretty great for her. While yes, it is a very wind spirit specific evolution line, that more humanoid style to it does fit, especially alongside Aegirusmon and Aegomon. I feel like Ferrymon and Aegomon would be really good as a pairing. You could instead do Sylphimon for the ultimate level if you wanted to, but I think overall the Wind Spirits with Tinkermon as the rookie works nicely for Junomon. Then is Bacchusmon. He is based on Bacchus, or the Greek equivalent Dionysus, the snake animal, and is the domain of wine. There's not a ton of wine Digimon, however, I think I've got something that works pretty well. The ultimate level I'm gonna have be Orochimon. Of course, it's a snake or a set of snakes, but also it has that very prominent outing in Tamers where it drinks milkshakes, thank you dub, or yeah, sake or wine. From there, there's not like a specific wine champion level Digimon. There's probably a bunch of Digimon that have also drank wine or sake or beer or whatever across the franchise, but I wanted to keep some of that snake theme if I could too. Initially I wanted to go with Kotalmon, but I think it was a bit too much of a holy serpent for this more debaucherous snake wine drinker, which is when I settled on Shamblemon, the newly revealed Mushroomon variant / evolution. First of all, of course, there is the idea of taking mushrooms, the magic kind, to produce hallucinogenic effects, maybe in the same sort of situation that one might drink wine at a party or with friends. But interestingly, Bacchusmon does have more than just wine going on. Its special moves are said to be wrapping up its opponent in both of its hands, transforming their configuration data into drinking snacks and then eating them. And it refines alcohol mixed with deadly poisons that causes sleep or paralysis. This does align kind of well with Shamblemon, as it is said that if one picks and eats them, they will be brimming with energy. As it is an edible mushroom, that will fill one with energy when they eat it, but also that if anyone approaches it carelessly, its sweep spore will attach to them and sprout into mushrooms containing their drained vitality. And then I'm going to make the rookie Bergamon. This line then I think is kind of fun. We go from food in infancy and transition through into experimenting with hallucinogens in their teenage years, and then finally ending up on a couple of wine drinking snakes. It'll do, right? Then is Ceresmon. There's a lot of bird Digimon and there's a lot of plant Digimon, but surprisingly very few that combine the two. Ceresmon's animal is supposed to be the bird and its domain fertility, so I can really see its evolution line kinda go in two ways. If we pursue the bird route, then I would go with something like Delumon for the ultimate, it's a bird with a bush, then digivolving from Nohamon, which works on a couple of levels I think. It's a sincerity armor evolution, which ties it very intrinsically to grass and plant life, but also in a fun twist, the crow is actually the Digimon in this instance, with the scarecrow body just being a puppet, which is a really nice inverse to the way that the Ceresmon medium pilots the Ceresmon bird. Small human, big bird, small bird, big human. Then I think the original Falcomon, the one we saw in Survive, and ironically we may have seen a Ceresmon in Survive too, as that version of Falcomon's green feathers evoke a more grassish feeling. And it has digivolved to Nohamon before in the Digimon Axel Nature genome. However, I know some people are more fond of the more feminine grass route, so in that instance I would have Ceresmon digivolve from Lilymon, keeping that femininity, down to Sunflowermon and finally Floramon. Just because why not go a little bit Digimon Survive here, you know? Then is Marsmon, and I think he does have a pretty established line, coming from Grapleomon, then Grismon, then Bearmon in Digimon World 3/Digimon World 2003, and I'm not going to fight or object to this. I think it's what most likely would be used in the next Digimon story game. They may do something different, but I just don't see it happening per se. I think in particular Grapleomon is very good for Marsmon, though I could be swayed that Grismon and Bearmon could go other places. For example, you could throw Lylemon in here, but as we are severely lacking in Panther Digimon, I think this line works well. Alright, let's move over to Mercurymon, the Wolf Man, not to be confused with Mercurymon, the Steel Spirit. Now we've used Spirit Digimon in the video already, so theoretically Mercurymon coming from Sephirothmon and then Mercurymon would be fine, but I just don't think it actually works for his character other than the fact that depending on your version of Digimon, they have a similar name. So instead I've gone for a bit of a merging of different evolution lines that we've seen for Mercurymon before. I'm gonna have the ultimate be the black version of Garurumon, with the champion likewise the black Garurumon, and then the rookie being either Strabimon or Psychmon. Though something that would be interesting, Mercurymon is said to be a Digimon god of ingenuity who boasts of being the fastest in the digital world.
I don't think you have any idea how fast I really am. I'm fast as fuck, boy.
Which is why I think a great prevo for him could be Mac Gaugamon, as it has enormous propulsive power on its back. However, just to switch things up a little bit so it doesn't feel too much like a Digimon Savers reference, I'm gonna have the ultimate be Black Mac Gaugamon. Basically the exact same kind of Digimon, just a little bit darker, which might hint a little bit more at that scrappy warrior vibe that Mercurymon itself has. Then Black Gaumon, and finally the rookie will be Strabimon. Plus the regular Gaumon line is on the Rampage of the Beast dim card alongside the Apollomon and Dianamon lines, so that feels extra appropriate now. Though I could also be won over to use Psychmon, or maybe even just the regular Garurumon line. Looking at Mercurymon's head, it's definitely not a million miles away from where Garurumon and Garurumon. Then is Minervamon, who I struggled with absolutely the most, as her other half is Mervamon. In addition to that, her animal is also the snake, making things really difficult, but her domain is strategic warfare. So I've just gone for more of a visual feminine match here, perhaps a little bit of a cop-out, but again one that I think would be fairly likely in something like a story game. The ultimate being Sanzomon. It's definitely got some very similar visuals to Mervamon and Minervamon, and although Sanzomon doesn't carry weapons, it unleashes various techniques by reciting sutras, so still fits into the kind of warrior chief vibe that we get here. Sanzomon would then digivolve from Kinkakumon, great champion warrior. It also keeps a kind of yellowy gold vibe throughout the Digivolution line, which allows us to end in the rookie of Chuchumon. This may seem like an odd pick, but again we have that golden yellow vibe to it, and it is said that Chuchumon is a tactician Digimon that has a tiny body but also a shrewd mind, which works with Minervamon and Mervamon being the strategic warfare domain Olympos XII member. And also Kinkakumon and Sanzomon could definitely benefit from that tactician mind that it learned from being a Chuchumon. Then we move over to Neptunemon. He's a big fish. His animal is a fish and his domain is the sea.
I am shocked. Shocked! Well, not that shocked.
Let's just give him a bunch of cool fish prevos. Gonna have him digivolve from Gosokumon because I think it resembles Neptunemon quite a lot, and is on the same dim card as Neptunemon, and likewise Tobiumon was also on that dim, so that is also going to be in this evolution line, and then the rookie can be Swimmon. I don't really have much to say here. fish. All right, then we're gonna transition into, I'm sure she's in the thumbnail. Venusmon. Venusmon comes from the Roman god Venus and the Greek god Aphrodite. Her animal is the dove and her domain is love. Oh, you bet it is.
No! Go to horny jail.
She has very few Digivolutions on record, only ever being linked to Angewomon historically through an old card and Digimon New Century, though she has been given some more flexibility with her Digimon card game card, meaning now she could theoretically Digivolve from any yellow level 5 Digimon. And I am gonna stick with Angewomon for her. I think on a visual level it works nicely, blonde, angelic, assets, but then I did want to keep some of that dove element. Not going like full bird like we did with Junomon, but just a little bit in there, which made me settle on the champion to be Darkmon, which works in a surprisingly fun way. Yes, again, blonde, kind of angelic, but Darkmon slide evolved to Hippogriffomon, a white bird Digimon, similar-ish to a dove, in Digimon Frontier Revival of the Ancient Digimon. That slide evolution I think pushes Darkmon from a pretty good contender to a really good one, and while sure Hippogriffomon is not based on a dove specifically, a white bird's good enough in my opinion. And then the rookie can kind of be anything. I really like the newly revealed Luxmon. He does look a little bit more masculine, looks like a little boy I guess, although really Digimon gender doesn't matter. But I think I've just got a penchant for using recently revealed Digimon. Luxmon is almost kind of like the really good version of Lucamon. There's no darkness in him, I think, for now. But if you wanted to go really down the bird route, some other rookies could be Hawkmon, maybe even Hyokomon. Or you could completely abandon the bird elements and go with Systemon Blanc, which I think is a fine enough pick. Systemon Blanc, Luxmon, whichever you prefer. And finally is Vulcanusmon, probably the most slept on Olympos XII member, as he literally has only ever Digivolved once. He has no anime, no manga appearances, and occasionally shows up as medals and cards in other video games, but doesn't even have any VPET outings. Pull one out for Vulcanusmon, man, oh my god. Well, in New Century and the old card game, he Digivolved from Mercurymon, which I think works quite well. Vulcanusmon's animal is octopus and his domain is smithery, weapon crafting, things like that. And with his multiple arms, Digivolving from Mercurymon works for me. But yes, I can see that it does lack the octopus and weapon themes, which is why I am going to fix that by having a Mercurymon Digivolve from Octomon. It's an octopus, it's red like Vulcanusmon, it's wielding a cutlass and a ray gun. I think it's perfect for this guy. Honestly surprised we haven't seen a warp Digivolution from Octomon to Vulcanusmon before now. And then for the rookie, I'm sure I'm missing a rookie Digimon that crafts weapons or something, but I'm just gonna have it be Shakomon. It's a very common Octomon rookie, and I think it complements the line reasonably nicely, especially because it does have that shell armor. I can reasonably see maybe another Vulcanusmon crafting that data for a Shakomon. Well, that is it. My picks for the Olympos XII evolution lines, what I think we might see in the next Digimon story game, possibly. Let me know if there's anything you think I've missed, but of course don't be a dick about it. This is just my subjective opinion. Thank you to my sovereigns, It's Elementary, ZDK14 and Jmon, as well as all these wonderful names you can see on screen right now below me for supporting this channel with their hard-earned money. They are absolutely amazing. Thank you all so much for watching. It has been an absolute pleasure, and I'll see you next time when we go digital. Bye bye.